And the first World Series of Poker main event final table would have been in 1971.
So quite a moment tonight. These two guys have been there for all 400.
400 hands. We've commentated on 400 hands.
And the others fallen by the wayside. But Greg Merson on the left and that man Jesse Sylvia now playing hand number 400 of this final table.
And I'm checking the numbers, Antonio. I have commented on 7 of the 400. Or at least made pertinent points on 7 of the 400. Let me correct myself.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, but he just did the same thing with his arm. Immediately put it down.
I'm wondering if it's just the lateness of the hour, the earliness of the hour, because again, we saw him play for so many hours with the same body language with the arm up.
And look, sometimes, a lot of times when people are counting their chips really nice and tidy and pretty, and
another re-raise from Jesse Sylvia after Merson raised to 4 million.
I have to go on a limb again and say I don't think that Sylvia's very strong.
9.5 million is the total that Jesse Sylvia put out there.
He could have an ace rag kind of hand.
All in. All in.
You heard Merson. He says all in. All in pre-flop. Heads up. Jesse Sylvia now with the shorter stack has to make a decision for all of his chips.
Yeah, and if he has a hand like ace-10 or ace-jack, it's a really tough call.
This is a really big all-in. I mean, Sylvia had 35 big blinds to start this hand. My guess is that the only really credible hands that Merson has are kind of small to medium pocket pairs.
Right.
Maybe hands like, maybe he does this every once in a while with like ace-jack or ace-queen.
Yeah, I think it's unlikely to have ace-jack. I think there's too much at risk. Definitely ace-queen, ace-king, and I think any medium to bigger pair.
I think with ace-queen, ace-king, so much more often, though, he's just going to 4-bet instead of this over-bet all-in. This really screams to me a hand like 2 5s.
Bit out of the ordinary from what we've seen from Merson. And I bet you like that as a heads-up guy, too. You like to alter it a little bit here and there.
Yeah, I mean, if Merson all of a sudden has some very, very strange hand, I'm not sure I'll like it all that much.
I think Sylvia's around ace-10. Maybe even ace-jack. I think with ace-queen, I think we would have seen a call.
Instantly, I think.
Right. So I think it's probably closer to ace-10.
But the gravity of the moment, the bigness of the event plays into it as well.
Right, but you can't really affect you. At the end of the day, it's just poker. You have 2 cards, and your opponent has 2 cards.
Would you call with king-jack suited, Antonio?
Oof. Was he has 70 million to start the hand?
I think your answer is no.
I don't think so.
Can you pull it in? 9.5, please.
Just over Jesse's shoulder in the background, his girlfriend, Ashley.
I think I might. There's a lot of chips you're giving up. It's like 20 million in the pot, more than that, maybe. $19.6.
9.5.
Yeah, against his range, with a huge possibility of him having a mid-pocket pair, you know, I could maybe find myself into a call with king-jack suited, but I don't love it, and I think in the end I'll probably end up folding.
Wow, if you showed up with king queen, I'd be pretty sick.
Well, I think he probably has king-jack.
Over $3 million difference between second and first place.
It's pretty clear that Sylvia actually does have king-jack.
I think if it was offsuit, I'd fold. If it was suited, I would call.
Jesse's looking at this chip board right here to get the chip counts between the two players to see how much Greg was actually risking, how much he's risking to lose.
I'm sure it feels really, really crazy after playing 13 hours or whatever to now just like have King Jack suited and decide to
He
call.
calls. Sylvia at risk. Makes the call with Queen Jack. Merson with King 5 of diamonds.
Wow. It's not what I expected to see on either side.
Jesse Sylvia's coach Vanessa Sup says he called. And as it stands right now, Greg Merson has the lead. He has the chance to win it all right here if Sylvia doesn't improve.
All that work, all that time, down to this very moment.
And remember, if Sylvia could have seen Merson's hand, he would have called.
The bracelet, the money, the title, the Player of the Year title could all be Greg Merson's right here. 139 million chips in the middle. Those could all be Jesse Sylvia's if he can hit his card.
After the brutally long three-handed play, just 17 hands into heads up, Greg Merson poised to take down the main event bracelet and Player of the Year.
And here we go to the flop. No paint, 6, tray 9. Greg Merson still leads, 2 cards away from this title.
Merson now a 3-1 favorite to put away Jesse Sylvia.
You see the outs at the top of your screen. Those are the cards that Jesse Sylvia is looking for.
Merson looks like he's just sitting in a doctor's office, just 2 cards away from the bracelet and $8.5 million.
And now the turn card. Another 6, and now Greg Merson 1 card away. Jesse Sylvia needs a river miracle to double up and stay alive and keep this heads-up battle going.
6 outs for Jesse Sylvia. He'll need a queen or a jack. Greg Merson's battled back from drug addiction. Here at the main event, only 3 big blinds on day 5. And now if he can fade a queen or a jack, he will be world champion.
And now the river card. It is a 7, and there it is. Greg Merson is the new main event champion. He cleared so many hurdles on and off the felt to make this final table, and now has announced himself as one of the game's bright stars.
Maryland, my Maryland. Greg Merson brings it home.
What a beast, Greg Merson. What a beast.